Hello, this is Tomasz Raciński, Plus, and welcome to the first part of modeling of Hearn. And now we can create colors of epidermal subsurface in Hearn. So let's go for the shaders and lower the specular amount and diffuse amount to see it more clearly. And we don't have any ambient occlusion at all. Reflectance, and as you can see, you can mimic any PRDF shader inside of Mari to see how it would look like in your target application. So now go for the skin bump. As you can see, now we will be painting only the bump. So go to layers, add one layer, call it pores, and with a dot brush, adjust brush size and just paint on the skin. As you can see, now we can really feel that it should be just the pores of the skin, just like in regular male have, where the facial hair is. So we got bigger pores and more depth to them. So now we can just paint some more strokes and press B to bake it and add some nice subtle details just to the lower part of the jar. Okay, so press B to bake the paint, and also over there, so we can now make all those little changes to the skin surface. Okay, it is very slow process of painting, so we should see the reference and load that image of the footballer that you have in your projects folder and see how the skin looks like in real human. So as you can see, there are a lot of pores, they are in different proportions and they have different depth, and they actually skin is quite complex. So as you can see, we got nice little pores on the forehead, and this we can now have white spots on the skin where the fat is, and while they are much bigger on this arm area, on the chest area. So now we can mimic this. So with a gentle strokes, I'm using paint tablet, so my pressure strength is translated to alpha and flow in this brush. So I'm just gently painting small variation to the skin. Okay, so press B to bake it, and you should cover all Hearn character with this kind of base surface for the skin. As you can see, I'm trying to be more subtle on these areas where the skin is with small, very small amount of pores. Okay, and it's just a skin surface variation. Just paint a few times, see how it looks like. And now you can break the surface of the skin. Okay, and in the front of the Hearn face, they should be very, very, very small. As you can see, I'm just painting in the paint buffer. Press B to bake it. Okay, now Mari is set to bake and clear behavior, so I don't have to clear manually. So as you can see, I've got my masking turned on, so that's why this bluish hue around edges of the character. And now this is the base of the skin, so now we can go for the palettes and go to the channels and export this bump skin channel flattened. And now you need to inspect this in Modo. So as you can see, we got very nasty skin effect, and it is because we have bump set to high, and we should lower this setting down. So as you can see, bump altitude is set to 5 millimeters, and we should lower this to 5 micrometers. So please adjust the bump altitude, and we should do one more thing and select the skin bump map and go for the low value -100, and high value should be 100%. This way the gray color, it will be base 0 of the skin, and black areas will be below 0, and white areas will be above the base 0. So this way you will have valleys and hills in one go. So as you can see, now skin looks much more realistic, and it will improve once we have all channels for the skin painted. But now we can just focus on the surface of the skin, when in fact it is quite good, and we need to introduce some bigger wrinkles to the whole skin. Let's inspect how this subtle skin variation looks in preview window, and they are visible, so we did good job. The skin, surface of the skin, is all about subtle effects, so you need to add one effect at the time and see how it looks like in Modo or on other. And we can just go for Mari, and now we can see in black and white, so we can just see how we are adding this kind of pores. Okay, so we need to add some more to the bottom of the face, and as you can see, this is simple black and white image. Okay, add another layer, call it wrinkles, forehead, and now go to the brush editor and under on the project you will find my brushes that you can use to create a set of wrinkles on the forehead. So navigate to front of the face. Okay, and now you can just rotate this brush, adjust paint buffer size, and paint. Make sure you're on projection bake behavior clear only, and we can set to manual, and now just paint with single strokes, just have this wrinkled pattern show up in the screen. Okay, now you can go for the warp tool and drag oops, I'm sorry, this one. So turn off this tool and turn on again and drag rectangle. Okay, as you can see, now we can move points around. To warp paint, you can decrease and increase size of the grid by using up and down arrow on the keyboard. Up arrow will add points, down arrow will take these points away. So now you can warp paint on the paint buffer around your surface. Okay, we can just do whatever we want with this paint, and Mario will beautifully bend these pixels around surface. So now we can bake this and clear. Okay, and turn off this tool so we can see how it will doing. Go for the palettes, shaders, turn on BRDF, and as you can see, now we are seeing diffuse color and bump at the same time, and it is quite good. So we can add layer mask, change brush, and mask those wrinkles that are in the wrong place. So make sure that they have smooth transition for the rest of the skin. And also on this side we should paint out those unwanted areas. So press B to bake this. And when we are happy with this blending, we can right click and layer mask and choose bake mask. So it will flatten, mask and this layer. Okay, so now we can lower opacity of wrinkles, and we can add another layer, and we can call it skin. Go for the skin bump, and now we can just paint some skin. So go for my brushes for the project and choose the grid that I created. A brush 17 will do. Adjust its size and just paint a few times with different radius, alpha and flow, and you can adjust paint buffer size. And just I wanted to show you in the black and white so you can see all layers in this channel. And activate warp tool, drag rectangle, and with the up arrow adjust the grid, and now you can warp this paint around head of Heron. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm just pushing points. Okay, yep, and we are almost ready for this. So now just move those points around, and it is, I believe we are done with this. Okay, so now activate slurp tool and just distort them a little bit. This tool works like liquify in Photoshop, so you can just smear paint just to give a nice organic look. Press B to bake it and clear paint buffer. And now you can see in BRDF how it was done. It is looking pretty convincing, so now we can lower this a little bit down to help blend in with other wrinkles. As you can see, now we get more wrinkles and the skin start to look richer, and we can add another layer. So we can call it wrinkles big, and this time we choose brush that is called worm. So now we can adjust this brush. We can go for the wrinkles big, skin bump, and now we can paint. Of course, we should not stay in this slurp brush, but we should press P to activate paintbrush. And we can now just paint with black paint on the surface. As you can see, now we getting nice wrinkles. Try to imagine how the skin would bend in real life, and observe your own hands, legs, and ears, and especially the chin area, and this way you can predict where the skin should bend. As you can see, it is a slow process of adding those wrinkles, but if you want to be realistic as you can be, it is very important to add as many wrinkles as you can. So as you can see, I did it the same process for whole body of the character. As you can see, there are much deeper wrinkles over there, and especially the hand area is rich in wrinkles. So now I will show you how this looks like in black and white. So select skin bump channel and turn on up to current layer. As you can see, we can see all layers in the channel now. So there are big wrinkles where the fingers bend, when the elbow bends, when the skin is bending on the head, and as you can see, there are plenty of places that the skin bends. So the more you add, the better realism will you have. Now open this layer epidermal diffuse color layer stack and go for the skin bump and open its layer stack so we can share layers. Okay, so now we can choose the spore, hands and legs, and go for sharing, share layer, okay, and we can just take this to the different channel. So we just borrowed this, and we can take this layer that calls spore, share this layer, and just throw it to another channel. Okay, just close this channel, and with the epidermal diffuse color, we should open epidermal subsurface color. So open epidermal diffuse color. Okay, and as you can see, now it is quite dull and empty, and we should propagate with some nice colors. So bring those two layers up, and as you can see, voila, we got spots, but they are wrong because they should be white. And we could paint them by hand, but since we already have this layer, we can just do some nice tricks in Mari and have it shown properly. So now open the layer stack for epidermal subsurface scattering color, and once again share layer. Okay, so just move it over there and select this layer and share it with the layer stack on the right side. Okay, now we need to create mask from this. So go for the another layer and create skin dots layer, and now choose, and as you can see in picture of human that it has rather whitish color, so they are white, light pink, so there are many dots, but they are white. So go for patches, fill with, we need to select patches first, so select all patches, fill with foreground, this light pink color. Okay, and we are halfway to our goal. So now create layer, not layer, you should create mask stack and open this mask stack, and we can now, this shared board should go over there. Okay, and everything gone. So now select this lower layer and move this skin dots mask down, and we need to do one more thing. We can just move those stacks around. So select all patches and go for fill and fill it with white. And now go for the orthographic view, deselect everything, and as you can see now the shared pores are black and white. You can remove this mask from shared pores. Okay, and now add adjustment to this layer and click on invert, and as you can see now we got nice black and white mask. So on the white areas they will reveal paint and black areas will be masking this. So now as you can see we got nice white dots all over the skin. So you can see from the black dots in the bump channel we have created fat cells below the skin. So now share this whole stack and we can have it even more obvious. So now in the subsurface color we can change it to lighten. Now if we do so on overlay, and now they are more obvious, so they are more visible. Okay, And this way, by sharing layer, you can make a texture much more quickly. So you can see we just painted once and we can use it many times as we like. And now when we have this fat little cells, we can see it in BRDF. Is this looking nicer? Okay. Since Mari don't have this kind of shader, the skin shader that Modo has, so we have to export this to see in target applications. But as you can see, now this looks much better. And now we can export epidermal subsurface color, all patches, and also we can export epidermal diffuse color to Modo and see how it looks like when it is attached to skin shader. Okay, so go to the epidermal diffuse color and export this channel flatten. Alright. And also we need to export skin bump as well. So as you can see, now the skin coloration is much more realistic, and we did not lose the bump that we created earlier. So as you can see, now we are getting closer to our goal. And now back in Mari, we can share this suntan layer. Okay, and we can open epidermal diffuse color layer stack and take this shade done and put it over there. Okay, and we can go for the diffuse color. And now shade done should be go for the multiply, and we can lower this so it looks good. So epidermal subsurface color, and we should take this suntan and add another layer. So call it white. Suntan white, and this will be layer that will show the white areas of the hern skin. So select this, fill with white color. Okay, and add mask stack. Open this stack and pin it. Okay, and pin it also this suntan mask, and duplicate sunburn, shell layer, and drag it just about there. Okay, and we got nice effect, but we need to invert this. So add filter and invert this. Okay, and now we get a nice representation of real skin tanning, and the bottom of the skin is white, so that is in the place that the sun does not hit, and on the upper part the skin is more brown. So now we can share this layer suntan white with the epidermal subsurface color. Okay, and we can just see how the diffuse color looks like. And I believe we should lower this effect because it will be too obvious and unnatural. So lower this down. Okay, and go export channel flatten and export all patches. And also export epidermal subsurface color. Okay, and that's it for this part of the tutorial. Join me next time. Thank you.